never imagined I'd look at my wife and wonder who she really was, until the night I pulled a folded note from her
I
waistband.
never imagined I would one day look at my wife and wonder who she truly was behind the softness of her smile. My name is Ethan, and for 4 years I believed I understood Claire, my wife, my partner, the woman who could make strangers feel like friends with a single laugh. We lived in a modest apartment just outside Chicago. Nothing extravagant, but it was ours. Our life was simple weekday commutes, late takeout dinners, and quiet weekends spent watching shows we never finished. It wasn't romantic or dramatic, but it felt stable, predictable, safe, at least. That's what I thought until the small cracks started appearing. It began slowly, almost like the shift in seasons. Late nights at work became normal. Gym sessions she never talked about. Her phone, which she once left anywhere, never left her hand. I tried convincing myself I was imagining things. Paranoia, I told myself, destroys marriages faster than truth. So I swallowed the unease and carried on. But one evening, while sitting alone at the dining table waiting for her, I noticed her location tag hadn't updated. It still showed her at work, even though the office had closed hours earlier. Something inside me stilled. When she finally came through the door, she jumped a little, seeing me awake. "Oh, hey," she said too quickly. "You're still up?" I tried to keep my voice steady. "Just wanted to see you. Long night?" A hesitation. Subtle, but sharp. "Yeah. Paperwork?" Paperwork at her firm? The most organized, schedule-obsessed company I'd ever heard of? My chest felt tight, but I said nothing. Later, as she showered, her phone lit up on the counter. One name flashed across the screen. Adam. I stared at it, heart pounding, but didn't touch it. Not yet, not without proof. I still wanted to be wrong. But doubts, once planted, grow like weeds. Hidden receipts. New perfume. A locked photo gallery. Smiles that didn't reach her eyes. I kept telling myself love deserved trust. But trust without truth is just denial wearing a ring. Then came the night everything unraveled. We were heading out to dinner with her coworkers. Claire wore a black skirt and a white silk blouse, her hair neatly tied, lips painted a shade I'd never seen before. She was stunning, different, distant like a stranger wearing my wife's face. As she adjusted her skirt, something white peeked out at the waistband. "Hold still," I said gently. "There's something there." She froze. "What do you mean?" Her voice was too sharp, too scared. I stepped closer, reached for the lining, and tugged lightly. A folded piece of paper slipped to the floor. She went pale, so pale she looked hollowed out. I bent down to pick it up. She moved to stop me, but she was a second too late. The paper unfolded in my trembling hands. "Can't wait to see you again tonight, same place, Adam." My world didn't explode. It collapsed slowly, quietly, like a building whose foundation had already rotted long before the cracks were visible. "It's not what you think," she whispered. I let out a small, broken laugh. "Then please, Claire, tell me what I'm supposed to think." But the silence that followed was louder than any confession. I placed the note on the table between us, my hands numb, my heartbeat echoing in my ears. "You know," I said calmly, too calmly, "I used to think the worst thing that could happen was losing you." My voice trembled. "Turns out the worst thing is realizing I never truly had you." Claire's lips parted like she wanted to speak, but guilt strangled her voice. Tears clung to her lashes, but they didn't fall. She simply stood there, small, terrified, shaking. Finally she whispered, "It's complicated." That word sent a cold anger through me. Complicated, the universal code for deception dressed up as confusion. I sat down, gesturing for her to continue. "Go ahead. Uncomplicate it." She sank onto the couch, fingers trembling. "Adam is a friend from work," she said quietly. "Friends write notes about meeting again tonight?" I said, raising an eyebrow. Her face crumpled. "I know how it looks, Ethan. I didn't mean for it to happen. Her voice cracked. "I just felt unseen." That word hit me like a punch to the gut. Unseen. Had I been distant? Yes. Focused on work? Absolutely. But distance isn't betrayal. Distance is a conversation waiting to happen. Betrayal is a choice. "So, instead of talking to me," I said softly, "you chose to be seen by someone else." She covered her face with her hands, sobbing quietly. "It wasn't supposed to mean anything. It always means something, I whispered back. The silence grew heavy, so heavy I could feel it pressing against my ribs. Rain tapped gently against the window. The clock ticked, marking the slow death of trust. I grabbed my jacket. "Ethan, please don't leave like this," she cried. I turned back to her. "You already left, Claire. You just forgot to take your body with you." And then I walked out. Chicago blurred past as I drove without direction. I didn't cry, I didn't shout, I just drifted lost inside a storm of thoughts and memories. Every buzz of my phone was her name. I ignored every call. Hours later, I parked by the lake. The night air was sharp, cold, strangely calming. And somewhere between the heartbreak and the numbness, I realized I wasn't angry at her. I was angry at myself for missing the signs, for believing love could survive on autopilot. This experience, as painful as it was, taught me something crucial about relationships. They aren't self-sustaining. They require active participation, honest communication, and the courage to face difficult conversations before they turn into devastating discoveries. If you find yourself feeling unseen or unheard in a relationship, please talk to your partner. If you suspect something is wrong, don't ignore the signs. Seeking help, whether through counseling or just open dialogue, can make all the difference. It's hard work, but it's the work that keeps love alive. If you or someone you know is struggling with relationship issues or the emotional toll they can take, there are resources available that can help guide you. Remember, it's okay to seek help. Thank you for listening to my story. If it resonated with you, please consider subscribing for more content like this.